Hello everyone and welcome back to Brooksburg Zoo. After a short break that I took, I told you guys that I was away for the weekend, that I've been to Athens. I hope I pronounced it correctly in English. I've been in Greece, in the capital of Greece, let's call it like this, and I had a wonderful time. I flew there on Friday last week and arrived back in Munich on Monday, so I had an extended weekend there, and yeah, it was much needed. I needed to have a break from everything. Yeah, from Planet Zoo as well. From Planet Zoo, from my job, from my private life, just some me time that was so much needed. And yeah, I'm back again, and here we go, having a look at what we built last time, which was the habitat for the Eurasian lynx and also the Asian carnivore or Eurasian carnivore house, which we are going to continue in today. So after we've been through the Eurasian lynx habitat and had a look at it once again, we need to build the next habitat, and the next habitat is going to be one for one of our Eurasian animals that we got from the it's not even new anymore, from the latest DLC from Planet Zoo. Before we get to that, I have to say, damn was I wrong. I'm so sorry. I told you guys for weeks now that it will not happen or will never happen that Planet Zoo will be released on console. Yeah. And literally, the last time I said it, one day later, Planet Zoo announced, Frontier announced that Planet Zoo is going to be released on console. Yeah. You might think about that what you want. I myself think that it is a very difficult game to be released on consoles, as well as Planet Coaster already has been. I tried it on console on PlayStation 5 myself. Not Planet Zoo because it's not released yet, but a Planet Coaster, and yeah, I think it is difficult because of its complexity, whatever. Oh my god, I should not use words that I don't know how to pronounce, like the capital of Greece and like the noun for things that are complex. Okay, you guys know what I mean. Yeah, it's very difficult for games that are this complex as Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster, but I totally get and understand the hype of everyone that's waiting, or that's been waiting for so long until the game is finally coming to console. So I'm happy for you guys. I really am very happy for you, and I can imagine how excited you are for this game, as I have been excited for this game since the day the beta was released, and I had the chance to play a few weeks, I guess it was, back then, before the game finally was released in full. And yeah, it's been such a long time until a zoo game, a really great and creative zoo game, has been released on PC or console or wherever, and I was so excited for it, so I can feel how you guys are feeling right now. And I'm so excited for you as well. But back into today's episode. We are creating the habitat for the sloth bear. I told you guys that this is going to happen in today's episode, and I'm also preparing the habitat for the Siberian tiger as well. That is going to be right next to the sloth bear. So we have this kind of little staff building and backstage area here, where we do have a little outdoor cage kind of thing, where you can lock or separate the bears from each other. and the indoor section, and right on the opposite side of the habitat, or the indoor habitat for the bears, is going to be the indoor section for the Siberian tigers as well. So it's going to be very much the same. So nothing special. So in the next episode, when we are going to build for the tigers, we will not use that much time for building the indoor, and more focusing on the outdoor habitat for the tigers. Yeah, hitboxes. As I see this, hitboxes for the bears were also a little bit difficult, so once again I had to go back into this build right here and make the doors or the gates much wider than they are right now, because the bears were not able to go into the shelter. That's the right word, intersection or something like that. Yeah, they were not able to go into the shelter, so I had to make it much wider. I did it only on one side, so the bears can enter on the right side of this right now, but not on the left side. But they can go inside and have a nap or something like that, and relax a little bit. So it is, yeah, they are able to use it. We're not going to finish the building completely in this episode, so that is something that's going to happen in the next episode. So where we do the main part of the interior for the indoor shelter for the animals, as well as the building where our visitors walk through. Just a sip of my cappuccino. Yeah, we need lots of decoration on the inside of the building, and maybe some plants. I also thought about how we created the building, and I also thought about this glass walls that we had there. So it would totally make sense if you go into the building and you have this high glass walls where you can look into the habitat of the animals, and you can get very close to them because they can actually walk right next to the glass, which is a very cool thing. But I thought about, wouldn't it be way cooler if you actually go into the building, and then when you enter it, you have yeah, you can look into the lynx habitat on the right side with this high glass walls, and you would have some kind of an open viewing area into the habitat of the bears. So that is something that is going to happen in a few minutes. I'm going to lower down those windows so that we have actually yeah, something like a lower fence where our visitors can look into the habitat without a barrier in front of their faces. So that is something that I wanted to do, and yeah, that's also what I did. I was trying to get a little bit more into realism in this build, so I wanted to have these gates and being usable. But I had slight problems with the mechanics of it, because I didn't know how to build this correctly, and I didn't have some footage for real life parts of the yeah, of gates like these. So I yeah, as I said, I had a hard time to manage how it is done. But in the end, I think, as we're not going for hyper realism in here, it turned out okay. Especially as I had to go back into this and make it a little bit wider. Much wider, not just a little bit. Yeah, and some part of inspiration on this was Caesar Creates once again. I saw him build stuff like this so many times, and I always admire all the things that he's doing, because he's such a genius in building realistic stuff for the zoos, especially backstage areas. They look so good, and I only can imagine how time-consuming they are. So yeah, that's a huge inspiration for me to build stuff like this as well. Oh, and I have to tell you guys, as I've been to the capital of Greece, I only call it like this from now on, I've also been to the zoo. The zoo is not directly in the capital, the zoo is a little bit outside of it, in a place called Sparta. So it was like an hour away from I say it once again, Athens. And I didn't have that high expectations on this zoo, because most of the times, and yeah, this might not be really fair, but most of the times when you think about zoos in South Europe, in southern countries, many of them are not that great. I'm not talking about the zoos in Spain. The zoos in Spain are some of the best there are, so I have seen quite a few of them, and they are unbelievable. So yeah, let's get back to that. I didn't have that high expectations on the zoo for yeah, in Sparta, but I was proven wrong, because this zoo was pretty great, and some of the habitats were quite, yeah, much bigger than some of the habitats that I've seen all across Europe. So they have a huge savanna habitat for giraffes, ostrich, and zebra. And what is it called? The oryx, Gamsbok. Yeah, Gamsbok are on that habitat as well. Yeah, as I said, quite a big habitat for them. They have lots of great habitats for antelopes, and a very big habitat which is called the lemur forest for ringtail lemurs, where they can roam around free, and you can have a great look at them. And yeah, unfortunately many of the visitors didn't read the signs in the habitats where it is said that you are not allowed to touch the animals. So there was a lot of touching and petting the animals, and yeah, I really don't like that, but yeah, it is what it is. And they really had a very, very, very big habitat, so if they felt uncomfortable by being touched by the visitors, they would have enough room to just go away and yeah, just hide from the visitors. So I think in the end they might have enjoyed it in some kind of way. Yeah, and they also had dolphins in the zoo. I know dolphins kept in zoos are very controversial. I also think by myself that dolphins are not great zoo animals. I am happy when I'm able to see dolphins. I also visited the dolphins there. I didn't boycott them. But yeah, as I said, dolphins don't make great zoo animals, because there is no pool that could be big enough for animals like that. I mean, they swim in such a high speed, you can't fit them in a pool that is like 1000 square meters big. That's just not happening. That's never big enough. Even 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square meters would not be big enough to have a dolphin in there. Not to say orcas or killer whales, which are still kept in some zoos around the world. So yeah. Yeah, but as I said, all in all, it is a pretty great zoo, and there is definitely going to be a short video of everything that I saw in there, and a little tour that I'm going to take you guys with me. It's not going to be a long one because, as I told you, I've been alone in Greece, so there was no one that could actually film. So I filmed with my iPhone, and I have some great video footage. As I said, not too much, but at least about 10 or 15 minutes. So there's going to be definitely a little tour of the zoo in Sparta for all of you guys to enjoy. And as I'm going to be in Barcelona in the middle of March, there's also going to be a tour of Barcelona Zoo as well on my channel. Yeah, but let's go back into the game. As you can already see, we are creating the outside area of the habitat finally. The stuff that I always like to do the most. I have a difficult time talking today, you can already hear it. The thing that I like the most, placing tons of rocks in here. Yeah, so I did cut out lots of it as well. Here I'm doing some terrain work so that we have a backdrop with yeah, a little bit of a mountainous area like we have for the ibex and for the takin as well, so that it all connects to each other, and with lots of trees on the background in the end. We're also going to have this little pool right here for the bears, so that we have a natural water source for them. And we're going to have lots of climbing stuff and things in here as well. Yeah, and I told you guys that I thought that it is going to be the end of Planet Zoo support very soon. So I'm not quite sure about that anymore as well, because there was a stream called Planet Zoo, not Planet Zoo Unlocked, Frontier Unlocked I think it was called. So that is something that they might do on a regular basis right now. Where they are going to tell about future projects, recent projects and stuff like that. That has also been where they also announced the release of the console edition of Planet Zoo. Yeah, as I was reported, they told in the live stream there that they are not quite done with Planet Zoo already, so that there's definitely going to be support, ongoing support for the game. We just don't know what that would mean, if it's going to be more than one more DLC, if it's just one more DLC and then they call it quits. In the end we have to wait and see. But right now I think it would not be too clever to enter support for Planet Zoo. Yeah, of course, the console edition is coming out, so this is going to make money for them, lots of money I think, because there's so many people that were waiting for the console release. So yeah, it could work out pretty well. Hopefully it will. Yeah, but Planet Zoo is one, if not the best-selling game of Frontier, so it would be not clever to end the support for the game for your best cash cow that you have. So yeah, but as I said, in the end we have to wait and see. So here's the little pool for the bears. Closing the gaps right here, and then we can go into planting, I think. Oh, and you see, after a week break, I still forgot about my first sentence that I wanted to say to you guys in every episode. So this would be the perfect time for you guys, if you made it till this point, to click the like button on this video and also to subscribe to my channel. And just yesterday we hit the 1,600 subscribers on my channel, which is a huge milestone for me. I can remember when I hit the 1,000 subscribers last year. I think it was in April last year, so almost, yeah, not really 1 year ago, but almost 1 year ago. It was such a huge milestone, and we are already 600 subscribers past that. So this is so cool, and thank you very much, every single one of you guys. I love that you are part of my community, and I love that you still have fun with my videos after all this time. So it's almost 2.5 years now that I'm doing this stuff, and yeah, I couldn't be more grateful than I am right now. So thank you very much. Don't stop supporting me, because there's coming so much stuff in the future as well. Yeah, so here we are adding the final touches to the habitat with lots of planting, and once again I'm almost using just 2 plants here, which is the big creosote bush and the Aristidia grass. And lots of the dead trees, well, not lots of the dead trees, but some dead trees as decoration and climbable items for the bears. And yeah, that's almost it. You don't need that much more to have a natural looking habitat. And here you can see how the backdrop with all the trees works. You can only imagine how it would have looked if the trees in the background wouldn't have been there. It would be a little bit depressing, a little bit empty, and yeah, so I really enjoy the look of the backdrop with the trees that's blocking the view on the backside, and also focusing the view of the visitors, yeah, towards the habitat. Some bedding for the animals. Little did I know that they would never get in there. Well, they do now, because I told you guys I fixed it off screen so that the bears actually can go into the house. So putting the grass roof on there. And the last final touches on the habitat with these trees right here. Always trying to not have too many of them in here, so that the whole habitat wouldn't be too shady, too dark or something like that. We always want the habitat to be bright, and that you are able to see the animals, not too much shade in there. I thought it was a little bit empty, so I tried to put in some of those grass and flower pieces that we got from the Grassland DLC, I think. Yeah, you easily could do that for the bears, because there's no way that the bears are going to eat all of the flowers, so yeah. Also those evergreen pieces here and there to have a little bit more vegetation in here. Yeah, and I think that is it. So we finished the habitat for our sloth bears, so the animals are going to move in a second, and we're going to have a look at it and the whole habitat in here. Thank you guys once again for watching. I hope you did enjoy what I built in today's episode. Don't forget to tune in next week, next Monday as well, when we are going to finish the Eurasian Carnivore House with the habitat for the Siberian tigers. And then we are very close to the end of Brooksburg. Only a few episodes left until we finish this zoo. So don't miss out on that. Click the like button on this video. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any further episodes. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. See you next week. Bye.